everybody. Another day up in Calabogie with me and my wife Denise. This is Govan Lake, campsite number 10. It's a pretty big campsite, lots of room for a few tents. Recently just purchased Insta 360 1X2 cam, and we're trying it out. It's our first day using it up at Calabogie. So it's works off a gyro, and it's kind of hard to see elevation changes and that with it. It's mounted on the windshield, but basically the more you see of the hood, the steeper the climb, and less you see of the hood as we're going downhill. Anyways, we went down Arkel Road from our campsite here and did Summit Lake, the Mine Trail, Butternut, took the Hydra line past Granite Lake and back up through the Quinn's front door, and we took the Norcan Lake Trail past Otter Lake and south of Mare Lake, then back up to the campsite. So it's a nice fall day, a little cool, but it turns out to be a pretty nice day overall. This is just leaving the campsite now. This one you can get to by road, of course. There's the boat launch across the bay. It's like I said, it's a pretty big campsite here, and there's our trailer. We parked up there and unloaded, and we're just coming down to the entrance to the campsite now. It should be right here. So fairly easy to get the truck down into here, but it was a long drive in from the turnoff up before Ampa. I don't think we'd bring the truck and trailer back in here again. It took about 45 minutes, and Arkel Road can get pretty narrow. Here we are, just driving down to the boat launch across from the campsite, which you can see over on the point. So here we've just come down the Summit Lake trail, and we're turning onto the Mine Trail. There's damage along this trail was pretty good too, not as bad as Butternut Trail, but you can see where people have come in to use the chainsaw to cut a path through some of the trees that were knocked down in that really bad storm earlier in the spring. So you basically just come out of the woods, and wham! There's the mine. It's a deep mine. Here they get just like a lot of looks like they mine in like up to like 7/8 clear gravel is what they end up with coming out of here. And it's a pretty steep climb up into here as well. Block off any of the entrances into the pit with big boulders. You don't want to be driving in and just drive over the edge and take that tumble down in there. Wouldn't be too good. But you can get off your machine whenever you want and walk in and take some pictures. It's pretty cool. We've been back here a few times now, and we usually come in from the other way, and we just don't tell anybody who's never been back there. You suddenly come out onto this, and they're always quite surprised. here's where you first start to get a look at the pit. It's pretty steep little part down here. I'm trying to get the camera angle just right so you can see actually how steep it is. As you come down into here, it's really kind of hard to see from the view from the camera, but you can see the pit off in the distance. I got some pictures here. We'll just show you of a trip we took last year with our neighbors and their daughter. That's Ava looking over there, so it's pretty cool. You can get walk into a bunch of different places and take pictures. All right, so this will be the rest of the mine trail from right to the finish down to the Hydra line, and we'll end up pretty much where my other video takes you into Butternut. So, a lot of leaves on the ground, a lot of rocks you don't see, and this is you get some half decent little gnarly rock and water crossings here, but it's pretty dry right now. In the springtime there's a lot more water, but it's all really passable. Each good bottom on all the holes. It's not much really in the way of mud. Holes like this one might be a little bit more interesting come the springtime when these big logs, if they're still there, are underwater. It could be a nice little surprise for you.
All of this is possible from the way that we've done it before, right?
Of course, these rocks are all a lot bigger than they look. But the RMAX handles all this really well. It's just no problem. No issues with clearance. We got lots of ground clearance with this machine. It's just rides over it all like nothing. Looking forward to getting back into some of the much rockier sections up in Calabogie. We've yet to do that in this machine. There's some good like hilly, rocky climbs back in Calabogie, but we'll eventually get to some of those. Maybe not this year, as we spent a good majority of this year, the summer, crossing Newfoundland in the RMAX. So I'll do some videos of all that fairly soon. So at this point, the trail starts to smooth out a fair bit, and not near as rocky and mud holes and stuff as you saw back there. But so it's turns into a nice, much easier ride from here on in down to the Hydra line.
Nice bit coming back here, but this thing is so much more ground clearance compared to the last.
Yeah, it's still early in the morning, so time to stop, have a sip, last few sips of the coffee, take a little break, and back underway.
You don't have anything in here that we can just wipe those one line of water, do? No, we'd have to get out and get the. No, that's all right.
Yeah, like I've mentioned before, these the camera doesn't. It's hard to get sense of the elevation changes, but like this is a pretty decent little climb. It's much steeper than it looks on camera. It's a lot of fun though. Like the same with this downhill part. This is a lot steeper downhill than it really looks in the video here. Yeah, we slowed down here. It was really cool. There was this big, tall tree just absolutely covered in mushrooms down the side, but I had panned in there with the camera. You couldn't see it, so that was kind of cool.
Send Mark a picture of the RMAX on its side, not saying anything.
Here's a good example of some of the damage that was done by that storm earlier in the year. You can see the big trees down here, and there's a lot of that off into the bush to the sides that you just don't see on the camera here. I'm not sure who's come through here to clean all this up, but man, a big thanks to whoever's done this. Sure is a lot of work. So there you have it. That's the mine trail, and we're going to hang it right here. And this is the Hydra line that's come all the way up from the Mosque Lake Road that you get to if you go and park near Ampa and drive west from there. So we're going to continue up the Hydra line here, and my previous video will be the Butternut Trail is just up here. We'll continue right, but you head off left. And the Hydra line always has some fun parts on it. Like this is a pretty steep, rocky downhill section. Like again, much steeper than it looks on cam, but yeah, just nothing hard at all, but just fun.
That trail and Butternut Trail will be basically the only main trails we do today. The rest will be a lot of just other roads just cruising along, which is fine. By yourself, right?
Here's where it goes left to Butternut, and we're going to go right and continue on up to Granite Lake.